Wait for the stream to start here. Make sure I get my notifications. All right. What is up, everybody? Hope you all having a good night. Had a good Labor Day. Hope you didn't drink too much. Hopefully had some good barbecue. Let's see what we got going on here. Darn. Okay. Now I saw a bunch of people. We're supposed to go stream tonight and just fell off. And that's okay. Y'all gotta take your personal health, mental health. That's fine. But I'm here to fill the void. Let's have some late night fun. What's up, Gabriel T. Black? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being the first one here. I know it's short notice. Appreciate you being here. Now, I don't know. Today I didn't do too much. Finished season 5 of Lucifer. Watched Ted Lasso on Apple TV. And then the other little project I had today was to fix up some stuff in the office. I got in 2 battery backups, one for the PC and one for my Plex server. And what do we got here? Okay. And then I got another backup for the networking and Plex server. And then my other little project after plugging all that stuff in was I had to change my hard drive storage setup. I had a RAID 5 setup, which I'm not going to go into the boring details of what that is. It's just anytime you lose power, there's like a 50% chance that your data is going to get corrupted somewhere on there. So I had to back everything up to another drive, change that to a RAID 10, which, once again, not going to go into details on that. But you just, if the power goes out, it kind of knows what was where. It's not a big deal. I want to say thanks to the 4 people who are watching right now. Appreciate you guys showing up. Just want to have a little late night stream. And, chill out with you guys. El Jefe, I do appreciate the super chat, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Good luck on the video. And hope it's all well with you and the family, buddy. Take care. Now, it's funny that fate brings that up because I did actually almost lose my Aqua collection once. Now, you might ask, who's Aqua? Because a lot of people don't know. Well, they sing Barbie Girl and a bunch of other songs. But mainly I have the entire collection, so I can occasionally listen to Barbie Girl. That's, I don't know. It happens, man. Just, you have weird days. You just want to listen to some weird stuff. Feel good about yourself. Feel pretty, maybe. Anyway. Other news I've seen that we're waiting. John Prosser said the new Apple Watch and iPad Air, right? iPad Air? Yes. iPad are coming out. They're dropping tomorrow, or at least getting announced tomorrow in a press release. We'll see how it is. So that's going to be the Apple Watch Series 6, which I really... Siri heard the wrong thing here. Okay. Anyway, that's going to be the Apple Watch Series 6. Haven't heard too many rumors on that. And the other one is the iPad Air, the new one. Haven't heard anything about that either. I've barely heard any rumors about either one. And it's going to be interesting to see what they got, because if they update too much with the iPad Air, even the new iPad Pros are deemed basically like useless. And with the Apple Watch 6, if they don't change enough, none of us are going to upgrade. But you are supposed to get those new watch OS features with, sleep tracking and everything. Actually, the only one I honestly remember is sleep tracking. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's been a few months though. We are in quarantine, so it feels like 6 years. Yeah, Gabriel, it is. It is coming down to John versus Mark in an all-out tables, ladders, and chairs match here because they see opposite sides of these rumors, and like I don't know Mark too well. I only see what I see on Twitter. It feels like he got more in it than John because John just wants to keep his reputation intact. He wants to give us information. And yeah, like it feels like I don't know. For me, it just seems like Mark's more like, no, I have to be right. It has to be right. It has to be right. And John's like, we'll see. And like if he was wrong, he'd just be like, I was wrong, guys. I was wrong. But it happens. Apple Watch SE. I've heard that brought up a little bit. The app. I'm gonna mark that right there. I forgot we could do that. It's been a while since I streamed. Apple Watch SE. Man, like, so what? That's probably gonna have this. I'm gonna assume just by what we did with the iPhone SE looking like the iPhone 8, that the SE is probably gonna have a style, if it exists. It's gonna have a style similar to the Apple Watch Series 3. It's going to have that slightly smaller face with the bigger bezels. And it's probably just going to be everything you need. Yep, exactly. Exactly what I was leading up to. Thank you for saying it in such few words. The Series 3 body with the new chipset. See, an Apple Watch Pro. That sounds like a useless device name. Like, I'm not trying to like poop on anybody here. I just like saying like, if there was an Apple Watch Pro, I kind of would just be like, why? Like, it's a watch. If it does everything it should do, I shouldn't have to worry about it. Like, I think they're probably going to stick more to the editions thing. Like, I feel like the higher end on that one is you get a more quality metal and the sapphire screen and all that. But hey, Tech for Your Needs, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining me. And thank you to all 7 of you that are still with me. Appreciate it. Just everybody was bailing out tonight. I wanted to get in and hang with some people. That's really what I want tonight. If I wasn't live streaming, I want to be chilling in the chat, but nobody else wanted to live stream. So here I am chilling with you guys. And yes, check for your needs. Tech for your needs. Hit that like button. That's right. And, as always, guys, super chats are open, but not necessary. But I do appreciate it. And if not, you can always buy me a coffee. Or, please just hit that like button. I've seen one of those. Then yeah. So I want, there's still 6 of you watching here. Let me know down in the chat. What'd you guys do today? What did you do this Labor Day weekend? Do you have any fun plans in this? Well, I shouldn't say fun plans because you're probably all stuck at home. But, let me know if you guys did anything fun. If anybody caught Mulan, or I know Tenet came out, let me know what you thought about those. I haven't seen Tenet yet. I did watch Mulan, and I enjoyed it. Now, I've seen everybody on opposite ends of that one. It's like they love it or they absolutely hate it. And I'm going to tell you, if you wanted like all those other remakes, one sec. Guarantee, like, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. And man, like I said, I just want to hang out with some people tonight, man. So, if it's got to be me, it's got to be me. But I want to hang out with you guys. So, appreciate you coming in, chilling with me. But yeah, back to Mulan though. Everybody's on opposite ends here, and like I watched it, and if you wanted a shot for shot remake, like all the other ones were, like they added in a couple things, and it was a live action version. You're gonna be disappointed. It's a completely different movie. It follows the same basic storyline with some similar things going on, but it has a whole new style to it, except for a couple of things, a much more realistic approach. But man, like, even if it was something to just kind of mindlessly watch, it has some beautiful, beautiful visuals. I did not get to watch it in Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision. I meant Dolby Atmos would be the sound. But from what I saw in HD, God, it was just beautifully put together. And then right from the get-go, it's got like this kung fu kind of vibe to it, which I really dug, because it was like kung fu, but not cheesy kung fu, which I do like cheesy kung fu. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I love cheesy kung fu. But like that real classy kung fu martial arts movie stuff, to me, it was great storytelling. I know other people disagree with me. They don't like it. They wanted Eddie Murphy in there cracking jokes every 15 minutes. And my resident anime enthusiast here says it's a wuxia film. And if I'm saying that wrong, I put the phonetical. All right. A great epic martial arts adventure. It was a great martial arts adventure, man. I know you're specifically saying what the style is or what it is, but it was pretty good for what it was. Tech Free Need says, talking about movie visual, which one is the best in your opinion? Clarification. Are we talking about the best in Mulan or the best movie visuals I've ever seen? Because my memory is great for some things, but other things are terrible. So one question might be harder than the other. See where you put me in. But yeah, I definitely think it was less comedy, more serious. There was nobody breaking out in song. But in general, talk about movie visuals in general. Man, it's always kind of, unless I'm watching it, I really can't say at the time, because things just blend together to me. Like, for talking music visuals, like the Transformers movies are awful, but they always have these beautiful landscape scenes. I will give you, it's the best things that I remember that I've seen. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, the original trilogy, had some of the most amazing visuals I've ever seen. And I'm not one of those people. I could not watch any of those movies more than once. But that is the main reason a lot of people keep going back and watching those movies in marathons every year. It's just the visuals involved in them. I also heard Tenet's supposed to be really good. And man, I don't know. I kind of wish we had some more movies out this weekend. Kind of just feels a little like weak only having a couple of movies out this week. Figured there would have been more being Labor Day weekend, even though we are at home. But I guess all the studios are really just trying to wait to make money in the movie theater. Fate said, I love practical effects, costumes, and stuff, But I really do respect like the amount of effort that goes to like modeling Mr. Incredible's sweater. Bill and Ted 3 was cute. Like I like Bill and Ted 3. I've said I like Bill and Ted 3. Face the music. The only thing that they did wrong, they didn't need to do this like cliche thing we've had to bring movies back after 20 years of where you throw your kids in and make them the heroes. Like, there's no spoilers there. I'm not ruining anything in there. That is in the trailers that the kids are trying to help their dad. So that makes them heroes. But like it could have been done with them. It could have been done with just them. They didn't need to do all that extra stuff. They could have just had kids. But we know that's going to be the last one. Where if they do a reboot with the kids, that's not going to make it any better. It's not going to make it any worse. I think it could have been done differently, but I still like the movie, which is not always said for things. What do we got here? Gary T. Black says, you know what movie has superb visuals since they were practical effects? That I always felt, well, I read that in entirely the wrong fashion. Let me start that over. No. You know what movie has superb visuals since they were practical effects that I always felt was underrated? Mad Max Fury Road. Who underrated Mad Max Fury Road? I have not heard an unkind word about Fury Road. That movie is constantly referenced for everything about it, especially the practical effects. Like, there's something to be said when you take the time, the effort, and the budget to do practical effects. Okay, I will always appreciate that over CGI. And while we're on the subject, can we talk about how CGI has gotten worse? I don't know what it is, but back in the day, and even if you look at like Jurassic Park 3, like you had your CGI and they really tried with the CGI. You know, they really tried. They wanted to make it where you could barely tell the difference between the real thing that they had for practical effects and like just their computer generated model. They didn't want to have a separation. Now it's like you can tell, you can horribly tell. What? I'm glad I got to remember. What? It's kind of dark, but who has died on set lately? Wasn't there one or two in Jurassic Park? Jesus Christ, man. First of all, I do not know who died on set. I know Robert Pattinson was tested positive for COVID-19 like several days into filming The Batman. But as far as I know, in Jurassic Park, people almost died. And that was because of the giant T-Rex from the first one not being waterproof. From what I know about the giant T-Rex, it was a full-scale, like mechanical, hydraulic T-Rex. And this thing was great. And to the lady who is texting me, oh, she won't hear me. Hold on. I do apologize. 1 second. Okay. Yes. The giant T-Rex from the original Jurassic Park, the one that terrorized everybody throughout the movie. There was some CGI in it, obviously, but the actual, like, ripping out the car, everything, that was a practical effect. That was a giant animatronic T-Rex. This thing had so many hydraulics and coverings and everything that it was just a nightmare to actually work with. It would break down constantly because it was full scale. mechanical, hydraulic, not waterproof. And on top of that, if you remember the car scene, it was pouring rain. Well, so if it actually rained on set, or if they're doing the scenes like that on set, they only had a limited window of where they could actually use it before it started like sparking and messing up completely. It wouldn't work properly. And when they designed the thing, they were so worried about actually making it look real and walk real and stuff. They didn't think anything about what they would have to do when they have to go fix it. So inside was this terrifying mess of moving steel, and someone would have to climb in there to make repairs. And if any of these things malfunctioned or tweaked, it could crush them. There was not, if this thing moved in the wrong way, there was not room for a human to be in there. So these guys would be taking constant risks going in there. There was a couple times they almost lost limbs, but they never did. So lucky for that. They never did. And the other thing, like I said, there was the limited time for when it actually like rained and stuff. That everybody basically had to stop what they were doing, go over there with towels and blankets and dry off the T-Rex. Like, I know there's the iconic scene or the iconic photo with Steven Spielberg next to the Triceratops. I would love if he had a photo of him just standing there with everybody with towels and blankets with this giant T-Rex. Like it was like just like a victim from a fire and he was in shock and they're putting the blankets on him. I mean, I don't even know. Yeah, it's you know, it's surprising like how stories like that don't come out too often. I only heard about it probably like a year ago. I mean, it's pretty impressive, like the things they like have to overcome to make things work. And I'm always going to respect stuff like that. All right. Now, other things that we got going on. Let's see here. What other tech news? I know we got the Apple stuff coming out. What other tech stuff is coming? Well, we just had the new NVIDIA cards. We just had the new NVIDIA cards coming out, the 30 or 3000 series, which is supposed to be retail decent. What do we got here? Oh, yes. We'll get to that in a second. I don't want to go into too much stuff. So we got those NVIDIA 3000 series cards coming out. Reasonably priced, but we all know that that's not going to happen. You're going to go to the store and it's going to be marked up like you wouldn't believe because of lack of stock, just like every other time, man. God. I'm actually a little salty, though, because I did just get like a 2070 Super a couple months ago. So the fact that they got stuff coming out for around the same price, that's like at least twice as powerful. Little salty about that. What do we got here? And then you got, yes, we do have the Pixel 5 coming out this month, supposedly the end of this month. Still getting over, not picking up Pixel 4a yet. Someone died on the set. I have not heard about that, man. I did not hear about that. It's always unfortunate when someone dies on set. Yeah. I'm surprised Intel Athena or now the Evo Initiate hasn't got more attention. Should be decent contenders against the upcoming Apple Silicon laptops coming up. Now, I think a few people have touched into this part, but I'm gonna be straight up. Athena Evo. I'm not familiar with it. As you just said, it's got a lot of attention. I'm not familiar with it, but supporting these ARM processors on like mainstream computing devices, Windows, Mac. I'm nervous about that because I I just remember from when we went from 32 bit to 64-bit processors, and it took years for the developers to actually start developing for the 64-bit version. You'd always you'd load up Windows and all your stuff would be 32-bit for it was like 3 years after the fact of when it became the standard. So it's concerning me of how long it's actually going to take for ARM to be like ready for everybody when it comes to well, obviously Mac has a little bit of a leg up with theirs because if you develop for Mac, you're developing for Mac. You have 2 years to do the Intel and Apple Silicon, but they're pretty good about getting their developers to make use of the tools they put out and the infrastructure. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to have a problem. But if we start getting, I'm going to assume Intel ARM chips on like a Windows PC, that's where I'm going to start seeing problems. Because I'm pretty sure trying to port over something or have that kind of little leniency in there, that's not going to be possible. It's a completely different infrastructure. I think it's a lot harder to try to emulate that. And it's probably going to run into some problems for a while. Now, the other thing, there was one thing I saw this week. I'm trying to find it. Oh, yes. Okay. So I actually let me grab my phone here. I have it pulled up. I actually got a couple of stories things for Amazon Alexa. Sorry, I had to mute her over there so she doesn't start up with me. A couple new things for Amazon Alexa coming out that are actually pretty cool that I heard about. So, first one, just kind of an easy thing, little softball that they threw out there, is starting soon at Exxon Mobil stations. If you have a car with built-in Alexa, the Alexa Auto, or even just the Alexa app, or maybe the Wise Band or something that uses Alexa. When you're at the gas station in front of the pump, you could just go, Alexa, pay for my gas. And it's going to determine what station you're at, what pump you're at, and get that going so that you don't have to touch as much stuff on the pump. You just have to put the pumping car. And probably if you live in a state, because I know there's a couple where you can't pump your own gas, you physically don't have to touch the thing at all. Which, I have to wear a mask to work every day. Wear a mask to every store I go to. So, yeah. If it's one less thing I have to touch, please make that happen. Tech for Your Needs says new technology takes time to be fully implemented when they're released. That's why 5G is taking well, because it's not only for just mobile, but it's more than that. Very true. Very true. But the only slight difference here is that it's costing a couple companies millions of dollars of research and development, as to where 5G, they have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to install physical towers or update physical towers across the country. Now, that being said, I know there's more into it. Developers have to be trained to program the new style for the new architecture. Tools have to be built to make that easier for them. But I'm hoping it takes less time than it takes for 5G to get rolled out completely. All right, the other Alexa news, which I was really happy about, because it means it's going to make a lot of apartments a lot more accessible, is that they're going to start doing Alexa for residential. Now, that's a terrible title because it makes it sound like what's in my house now is meant for consumers, but that's not what it is. This is specifically a program for landlords, like landlords, anybody that's renting out a space. You can implement Amazon Alexa and a bunch of smart devices into that home, and you have control of that account. You have an overseeing account with the things that are implemented in. So you have a more appealing apartment to rent to somebody with smart features already built in, not something that your tenant would have to come in and set up themselves. But the good part here is the tenant themselves isn't like locked out. They don't have to like get like the landlord's password or anything. If they have an Amazon account, they can add it onto it. And then when they move out, you can just take them off. They can't get rid of the hardware or anything. They can't start switching out things. They can only implement things on their end and not screw up what you already had in place. It's kind of like IT for like landlords. That's what I want to say. Like you give them permissions and stuff. It's like do whatever you want, but it's not going to screw up what I put in place. And I know that was an incoherent ramble there. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of it on the fly. One moment. So say I bought this condo and I wanted to have some smart lights set up for people, accessible through Amazon Alexa. I can get those devices put in, linked up to my account and to what rooms they're in and everything. So that way, when my tenant moves in, they don't have to sit there and hook up their own device and hook up, Philips Hue accounts and a Leviton account and all that nonsense to get the devices pulled into their stuff and then start organizing where everything's at and what works together and what doesn't. You could just have it ready for them one time. And if you change something out, you could go in, change that. And then my tenant can go in, add their account to the home residential thing, and they instantly have access to all those devices. They are immediately placed for what they need to be, but then they can start using their services that they pay for, whatever music streaming service, anything. Excuse me. Yeah, so they could just get going and then add in whatever they need to. Say they have a lamp or something, they can add it on. It's on their own account. When they leave, it's not on your stuff. They bring in that little lamp behind me. I brought that in myself. When I move, that's going with me. I don't have to remove it from the account here. And then when I go to my other place, add it to the account, it could be on my own personal account. And then when I move to the other place, it'll still be there. No fuss. I don't have to mess with anything that I don't own. So it's good for both sides. Okay. Following up. See what you guys are saying. One day we'll have a giant wireless charging pads at parking spots, and we can all park our Teslas on them. Until then, Alexa is getting some awesome adoption. Surprised Google hasn't one upped it yet. So Google is slowly working on it. They're supposed to be getting some more triggers and stuff very soon. It's supposed to come out. I think it's supposed to come out like last month, but it's coming out sometime this month. They've got a bunch of updates coming out. A lot of it has to do with just finally integrating all their own products into the same app, which how do I nicely say this? Oh, Amazon, please do that. Please put all of your stuff in the same app. I don't need a separate Ring app from my Amazon and my Alexa. I want all my features all in one place. Anyway, yeah. The actual reason why Alexa is my preferred voice assistant is because Google can't actually do triggers as of right now. Google Nest does not let you trigger things. If I turn on a light, it doesn't turn this on. It all is like based on like just timers and stuff. And that's good for some stuff if I want to like wake up gently in the morning, which actually is impossible for me. I've tried gentle wake up. No, dude, I need somebody to like shove me off the bed. But yeah, no, they're supposed to be catching up. They're like I said, they're integrating all their stuff into the one app now. It should be nice. And then at some point, this whole smart home group thing is going to come together with Apple, Amazon, Google, and all them. They came together. Soon that will come out and things will be a lot easier. But until then, we still have crappiness. Dude, there was some murmuring about home computer repair laws in Mexico. Oh, great. Our mess has gone down to Mexico. Because right to repair is a big problem here still, especially when it comes to Apple, because they do not want you to touch the inside of your device, even though you own it and you can do whatever you want. So that's really unfortunate that Mexico is having some issues with computer repair. It's the other thing. What was on my Alexa news? Well, like I did say, Google was planning on integrating some stuff. They also have a couple new products coming out. There's supposed to be a new Google Nest to replace the Google Home, which I think we've all forgotten about at this point. It was that air diffuser shaped thing with the little lights on the top. You can't buy it anymore, but they haven't replaced it yet. So there's supposed to be a new Google Nest. It's supposed to stand up, upright, and look like an elongated Nest Home thing. I'm waiting to see what added features it has or whatnot. But the other thing, they're finally going to fix Chromecasts. It's not going to be called a Chromecast. It's going to be a Google Nest device, but Google Nest TV. It's going to have Android TV built in, and it's going to have a remote. So you don't have to do everything from your phone anymore. You can actually do it straight from like your TV itself, just like kind of like like an Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, that kind of situation. But now there's all that support. Anything that you can do with the Chromecast, you can still do with this, but you have a remote, so you don't have to always be tied to your phone. And let's see if there's any more news. Let's check The Verge. Good tidbits. Really? Not really. So unless any of you folks kind of have anything else, I might actually wrap it up soon. Because I don't see anything else to really go in on. Yeah. Yeah, tech for your needs. I think we are going to call it there. Thank you all. There's still 5 of you watching. Thank you for joining me the last 40 minutes. Appreciate you guys coming through, chilling with me. And you know what? I am excited to see what happens tomorrow. Is John Prosser right? Is he wrong? Who's going to give him crap in the morning if he's wrong? Don't do that. He's just a man, just like you and me. But anyway, appreciate you guys coming through. Hope to see you again soon. And I hope to see some new information about those Apple products tomorrow. All right, guys, have a good Labor Day. Yes, Gabriel T-Bag, peace and love. Peace and love. Good night.